Hello, how are we? And welcome back to my channel. So it's Thursday and today I'm recording a Hyrox vlog weekend, which is so exciting. So basically I am heading down to Dublin today. My flight's at 11 a.m. It's currently 7:30 and I'm going to be competing in the Hyrox Dublin with my friend Ottie. So we're going to be doing it as a doubles. So first of all, I thought I'd just run you through what Hyrox is because I feel like it's massively blown up in the past year, rightfully so because it's a bloody amazing event, but there's probably people watching this or there's people out there that might still be confused of what the event is and if they feel like they could do it. And in my opinion, it is the best, if not one of the best events I've ever done. I think sometimes running can be such a lonely sport, and the fact that you can do Hyrox as a doubles, as a team, as a relay, as a mixed doubles, it's just so much fun to me because you're splitting up everything that you're doing with your partner, you're doing it together, and I just absolutely love it. So what it is, essentially it's a functional fitness event. And functional fitness is essentially just fitness that people do that translates into everyday life. So it's more kind of functional based movements that you could use in your everyday life, such as carries, such as lunges. The event itself is an 8-kilometre run in total. So 8 kilometres, and in between each kilometre there is a station that you have to perform. So the stations are 1 kilometre ski, you've got the sled push, the sled pull, 1 kilometre row, you've got burpee broad jump, so you're doing a burpee, doing a jump, doing a burpee, doing a jump. Wall balls, so squatting down with the ball, throwing it up. Farmer's carry, so you're walking with 2 heavy kettlebells. I've definitely missed some out, probably the ones that I like the least, because I'm trying to block them out. Yeah, essentially there's a different element in between each kilometre. Now, doing it as a doubles means that you both have to do the kilometre run together, but you can split up the distance of the stations. So for example, with the 1 kilometre ski, you can split that up between you however you like. So one person's kind of resting while the other person's going. So it's almost like a big extended HIIT workout, but you both have to be strong on the runs because you're both doing that together. And then say, for example, my partner Ottie is stronger, say, on the sled pull than I am, maybe she could do a bit more than me on that one, and then say I'm stronger on the wall balls, I could do a bit more on them than her. So yeah, it's good because you play off each other's strengths, and it's also so much about communication. Me and Ottie did it back in February, and the whole time we just said keywords to each other. Like during the run we were like, this pace okay? Feel good? Yep. Like it was keywords throughout the run, and then before we went into the stations it would be like, you start, and we roughly had an idea of how much each other were going to do and when we were going to split it. Like I think we did 250 metres each on the ski and then we'd split, but we'd base it off how each other feel. Like when we were doing something we'd be like 3 and then 2, 1, switch, and another person would jump in. So it just massively is on communication, because some of the stations that like we'd agreed I was going to start at, she felt stronger at the time so she started, and vice versa. If she was like, I'm really fatigued after this run, we would just switch over. But I honestly think, and you know, people might disagree with me on this one, it's a runner's workout because it's 8 kilometres of running. You're running on fatigued legs, and if you're a runner and if you're a good runner, you can do those kilometres really, really fast because you're used to endurance running and running on fatigued legs, and a kilometre in comparison to maybe the distances you're doing isn't actually that long. So in my opinion, if you're a fast runner and if you're a good runner, you can make up a lot of your time on the runs, because the stations itself, you can maybe cut off here and there, 30 seconds there, 20 seconds there, but with the runs, like you could be doing each of your runs 2 minutes per kilometre faster than someone else. So yeah, essentially what I'm saying is, if you're a runner and you're watching this, it's definitely something that you should have a look at if you're looking to mix up your training and have a little bit of fun with it. But yeah, me and Ottie did it back in Glasgow and we ended up, I think, coming 18th out of 170, which we were boozled at. But yeah, it was so much fun, and we booked the next one pretty much straight away. I think it was a week or two afterwards, and it's just gonna come around. But it's been kind of a long time coming because we obviously booked it so long ago, so I feel like it's been in the back of my mind for a while. But yeah, I'm really intrigued how it's gonna go too, because last time I was training for it, I feel like I trained very specifically for Hyrox, and I was doing a lot of kind of metcons and Hyrox based workouts, which basically just involved all the Hyrox moves. Well, this time I definitely feel more fit in the running department because I've obviously spent a year doing ultras, so thank God I feel a little bit fitter in that department. But I've definitely not specifically trained for this at all. Like, I've kept my strength, so you know, my basic movements, my squat, my lunge, my deadlift, my hip thrust are strong, and I've obviously kept my running, so I'm just intrigued to see what the comparison will be, like if I'll do this one and I'll feel worse, or if I'll do this one and I'll feel better. It'll just be a very interesting comparison. But anyway, I'm off to Dublin, so I'm going to be leaving at roughly 8:20, 8:30. And we're just going to chill in Dublin today. I've actually never been to Dublin, so I'm really excited to see it. But yeah, I've not seen Otti in so long. I genuinely think we've not seen each other in 6 months. And we used to spend so much time together, but she moved down to London and I've stayed in Edinburgh. And yeah, I'm just so excited to see her because I feel like within the past 6 months, so many big things have happened for both of us that, yeah, I'm just excited to catch up, and she's such good vibes, so I'll be showing you and introducing you to her as well. But yeah, thanks for all the lovely comments on my last video, and I'm so excited to take you along for this weekend. Welcome to Dublin! We got here yesterday, and this is Otti!
Hi.
This is the girl I'm doing Hyrox with. We did it last year in Glasgow. This year
in Glasgow.
It feels so weird. I feel like it's been longer than a year.
It does feel like
we booked this pretty much straight after we finished that event.
We're like, we're going again.
And now I feel like it's just slowly crept up on us and just arrived. But we thought we'd take you through everything we do the day before an event and just run you through kind of like activity, fueling, resting, recovering, and yeah.
All the good things.
A little tour of Dublin. But yeah, we are going to go for a little 30-minute run to start with, just to shake out the legs. And then we're going to grab a little Starbucks on the way home.
Running to Starbucks.
Because obviously it's pumpkin spice latte season. Okay, we were just back from our run and we just went on a lovely little, I think it ended up being 40 minutes because we did get lost a few times. But got a little Starbucks on the route home. They were out of pumpkin spice, so we've got a caramel latte with oat milk, obviously. But yeah, it was so nice. I think where we're located is more like the worky location because we keep seeing works, obviously, and like WeWorks, and then even in the Starbucks they had like a free printer bit, which I was like, okay, that's designated for people to come work here. So I think that's more the area that we are kind of located in. But yeah, excited just a way to get ready and then head for brunch. Okay, so we are just waiting for the tram and then we're gonna go for brunch. Just been for a lovely run. It's coming. It's actually such a nice day as well. I was so scared it was going to be really cold, but it's perfect. Okay, so we are back from our day out, had lots of really good fuel today, and it's 8 p.m, so we're back nice and early, and we're just gonna have a little bit of a pamper night now because we need to relax and get zen before tomorrow. And I'm actually feeling a little bit nervous now because we've been talking about it nearly all day, and there's quite a few people that we know doing it too, so yeah, it's just gonna be the... But we have gone to the shops and got some snacks for tomorrow, which I will show you now, and some little oat pots and everything, so we're organised. We're not on till 4:10, but I'm gonna go watch Marcus at 8:10 in the morning, so I'll be getting up a little bit earlier. So I've got oats and stuff for the morning, take a few snacks with me, watch him. He is very focused for tomorrow, so you'll be just totally in the zone, which I'm actually really excited to just watch. And yeah, then I'm probably going to come back and just spend the day, maybe laptop work, sitting down, because it's so easy to do so many steps here because you're exploring a new city, but obviously you need to conserve the energy for Hyrox. And then I think we'll head back in for probably around 3ish, so we've got a good hour and like 50 minutes before we start. So yeah, we've just got a couple of oat pots for the morning. I've gone for some golden syrup ones, some berries. Aunty's going to make an overnight oat, so she's got some yogurt. And then we've got some Lucozades for afterwards, because we just remember afterwards just feeling like we needed something quick. Squares bars for before the race, quick carbs in the system, and then some little sweets, and some little bits and bobs. So, but yeah, I don't know why I'm feeling so nervous, because when I did it in Glasgow I definitely didn't feel as nervous as this, but I don't know if it's because I'm in a different city, new environment, and also I said at the start of this vlog, but I trained so specifically last time, and then this time I feel a little bit nervous about some of the movements, but we'll be fine. And again, I think it's one of those things that when you've done one before, you know what to expect. And I think, like, I'm definitely a competitive person. Like, I've come from playing sports at school, so I feel like because I've done it before, me and Ottie have done it before, and we've got a certain time, for example, like in my head, we both want to beat that time. So I guess it's like a little bit extra pressure, because you're like, okay, to beat that time you're going to have to do better than last time, and you're going to have to absolutely go for it. And we were going for it last time, but a few little switches of tactics to see if that will work. And yeah, I'm excited, nervous, all the emotions in one. Okay, it is so early in the morning, it's still before 7, and I have come to Marcus's apartment. Marcus is on in literally an hour doing Hyrox. I'm not on till 4 p.m, so I've got a bit of time to waste, but I think I'll go there in the morning, come back, get some food. Had a little bit of oats already this morning, and then probably just sit in a cafe or something, maybe do a little bit of work to distract my brain so I don't get up and move about too much in the city, and then we'll be heading back. Okay, Marcus has just finished. You gonna let them know how it was?
Hiya.
How was it? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was good. Pretty hard.
You did really well. He made it look really easy.
I think because all the Ironman stuff that I've been doing in the ultramarathon, like just having that running volume makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's a running event, so
I know.
feel good. Gonna watch you.
I know.
4:10.
4:10. Just gonna go
Smash
get a little
it.
bit of breakfast, and then we're gonna head back to the arena. Okay, so this is gonna be my Hyrox fit. Okay, we're currently en route to Hyrox. How are you feeling? Nervous? We're nervous. Good. Excited, but there's actually quite a lot of traffic, so it's quite stressful. We left quite early, so we're kind of fine. Hour? 1 hour. An hour and 15. And then it's go time.
At 8 o'clock tonight isn't your cup of tea.
Hello, so it is officially Monday, so kind of over 24 hours since Hyrox was completed, but I managed to take a lot of phone footage when I was doing Hyrox, not me personally, obviously the people that were supporting, but I didn't get any camera footage. So what I thought I would do is kind of basically talk you through how it went, how I found it, how I found it compared to Glasgow and our tactics and everything like that. First of all, I loved it. However, I did find it so much harder than Glasgow back in February, and I think naturally I'm quite hard on myself as a person, and I think I feel a little bit disappointed at how hard I found it, because I found, if I'm being brutally honest, like I found Glasgow quite easy, and I came away from that thinking like, oh my goodness, I could easily do another one. But this time around I came away from it thinking, I think almost I maybe got a bit cocky and thought I don't really need to train that hard, because I found that one really easy last time, when in reality I definitely needed to train more Hyrox specific than I did, because I definitely found that a lot harder. So basically, in the Hyrox Dublin course, so in the Glasgow one, you essentially did 2 loops of each course, which would make up the kilometre in between each station. But this time around, we were doing 3.5 loops. And I don't know, so basically I listened to this podcast called The Rock Zone back in February, when I got kind of obsessed with Hyrox and everything like that, and it was saying that sometimes there is a little bit of a lack of regulations around Hyrox, and I didn't really think that was the case, but those loops that we were doing were 100% longer than the ones we did in Glasgow, because I think they must have been around like 1.3 kilometres, 1.4, because our splits for each one, in fact, I'm just going to get them up so I can be super accurate about this. Yeah, some of our splits are like 5:33, 5:57, 6:08, 6:12, 6:04, 6 minutes, 5:44, and like I run a lot, like a lot. I know my paces. I know how that pace feels. That's not the pace I was running 1 kilometre in. We were running around 4:30 to 4:40 minutes per kilometre, and that's just facts. And that's kind of what we did in Glasgow last year. So these must have just been over. I think that was a little bit disheartening. We kind of knew, because early on the boys were telling us that, but it wasn't until we were actually doing it I was like, yeah, this is definitely more than 1 kilometre. And there was a timer. Your watch doesn't really work. There was like a little timer thing, and I was watching it and I was thinking like, there's no way this is a kilometre longer than we thought it was going to. So that was a little bit disheartening. Okay, so let's start with the bits before. So I was definitely feeling nervous, and before, I think I filmed little bits in the car, you can see we're both a bit like lots of nervous wheeze later, and then a little warm up which I actually had to get cut short because we needed to nervous wee again. It's almost like a little tunnel that you start in, and there's a big timer that said like 2 minutes till start time, and everyone in your wave is kind of packed into this little tunnel. There's loads of adrenaline, the hype is there. I actually love the tunnel because you do get that boost that you get at the start of race day that's like, we're gonna get ready to go in literally 2 minutes, and me and Auntie were super hyped up, ready to go, ready to smash it. And then first loop felt great. We went straight into the ski feeling really strong. Now last time in Glasgow our tactic was to do, so you have to split a kilometre between the two of you. Last time our tactic was to do 250 metres each and then switch. However, we felt that we were starting to really slow down by the time it hit maybe like 160, 170 metres on the ski, that last 100 metres we were doing each were probably a little bit slower than we could have done it. So this time around we decided to do 170 metres each, girl math, and switch like that, and that worked so much better. Yeah, if you know ski paces, I think we were holding between like 150 to 2 minutes. So that was pretty good. Yeah, that was our tactic on the ski, and this time around we got 4:27 on our ski, and last time around we got 4:49, so we got off a good like 20 seconds there, which we were buzzing about. It definitely felt faster too, so it just shows a switch in tactic can actually save you like those 20 seconds, which you might think, okay, it's just 20 seconds, but in the reality of Hyrox, 20 seconds is like gold dust. That can make the difference between like 10th and 11th place, that can make the difference between 3rd and 4th place. Like, the margins are really small, so you know, you've got to take what you can get. So that felt good. Then we went back into the run, and the first run was 2.5 laps. second run was 3.5. I didn't really know how that was working out, but that's just the case it was. So it was an extra lap. So you'd come into the ski bit, out, and then you would go into, you'd pass the in bit once, pass the in bit twice, pass the in bit 3 times, and then the 4th time you'd go in. Now that run felt still pretty good. Like I still felt like I was building up a little bit of fatigue by that point. Then the next station was sled push. So when you're doing Hyrox, the area where you find your zones is all compacted in the middle, and this middle bit is called the rock zone. So this zone has got, say, your ski bit, your sled push, your sled pull, the burpees, the walking lunges, all the stations in here. But the area it's compacted in is called the rock zone, and you have to run into the rock zone to find your station that you want to go to next. So our key with the rock zone was just keep running. So the pace that we were running the outside loops in, I was like, let's run the inside, like the rock zone in as well. So we kept a steady pace, which was amazing, and we ended up not spending that long in the rock zone, which we were really, really happy with, because last time we spent 4:18 and this time we spent 3:44. So again, a massive jump there, and that was literally just purely from being like, let's keep running. We did stop for water once, but it was like a grab, throw it in your mouth, chuck it kind of thing. So the next one was sled push. Don't mind sled push at all. I've definitely still included that within my programme, and Ottie absolutely smashed it too. And we just kept, you know, a steady, decent pace on us, and we got 1:32, and we got 1:32 last time, so pretty buzzing about that. The only thing I felt was I was wearing my Under Armour Hoover bikinis, and they were just slightly slippy on the track, but they were great for absolutely everything apart from that. So with Hyrox, there's probably not like the perfect pair of shoes, but sometimes they have like a little sacrifice here and there. So if they're really grippy and if they're good and flat for the wobbles, they might not be the best for running, but mine were maybe pretty decent for running, but not so great on the sled. So that's the only thing I felt, but apart from that I felt fine. Obviously your quads are then quite fatigued going into the run, but we got into it and the next run felt pretty good. The next station was sled pull. Now my strength, I saw this quote, lift, I'm gonna absolutely butcher this. Okay, lift enough to have a reason why you're not that fast, and run enough to have a reason why you're not that strong. And that's my excuse. My upper body strength over the past 8 months has gone like this. Soup. Just because obviously I've been training for an ultra, and the strength training sessions I've been doing have been full body, so they have attacked all body parts. However, there just definitely has been a lack of upper body strength prioritised in that, which is fine. That wasn't my priority. And I think almost when your strength depletes, you almost don't actually think it's happening. Like you just think, oh, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. And then when I was pulling that sled, it was barely moving. And last time it moved a lot faster, but we essentially just had to do one length each, so 1 12.5 each. I'll put the video in here and you will see how much I'm hurting and how slow I'm going. But my method was just grab the rope, use my legs and hips to kind of almost like pull and thrust with my legs. And with the last little bit I was kind of dragging it backwards to make sure the sled was in the box. So that one we actually spent quite a lot longer on than last time. So we did 3:43 and then this time we did 4:16. So there was a little bit of a jump there. I put my hands up and say that was me, because my strength just wasn't there, and I definitely felt that there. Anyway, going into the run, also like when you go into a run off a sled, your legs feel so bad for maybe like 30 seconds or even up to a minute, but then it does pass. So it's almost like you just have to be like, okay, they don't feel great right now, just keep on running, keep on going, even if you have to slightly pull back the pace a little bit before then you speed up again, but don't stop and don't walk, because it is just a built up of lactic acid in your legs and you have to just keep moving because it will just fade away. So that's my kind of tactic with that one. With both sleds we just did one length each. You can swap halfway through the length, but that's just kind of what we found worked for us. To lie, after the sleds I was feeling it and I was like, we kind of had some tactics written down that we would basically, us would start different stations, but that just kind of went out the window and Ottie ended up starting them all because I was just feeling super fatigued. So with burpee broad jumps, we roughly did around like half a length. The first couple are obviously a little bit speedier than the last ones. And last time we would do a burpee broad jump, and then to get up to standing we would kind of stand up, so we'd take one foot up and then the other one, but this time we were just kind of jumping, and I think that worked better. It felt a little bit more fluid. You're obviously really fatigued by that point, but I also think your heart rate is so high that kind of go with it and you're just in that little bit of a rhythm. So row is probably my arch nemesis. My row technique, I only started probably the rower like a year ago, dabbling into it. So even as a PT, I think it's okay to say and put my hands up to say, like, I'm not perfect. My form's not perfect on absolutely everything. But I have taken tips off my boyfriend, I've taken tips off coaches, and it's definitely improved. And with the rower, it's more about kind of power and efficiency than how quickly you can do it. And I think last time going into it, I was just like, just pull it as quickly as you can and just row as much as you can. But this time it was more about efficiency, getting real power through the strokes, making sure form was good. And that massively helped. Another tactic that we did this time around, so last time we did 500 meters each because we were like, it'll just be too much of a faff to swap our feet out and get the other person back in. But this time we were like, no, let's do 250 meters each, give it a go. Obviously with these tactics as well, we kind of knew going into this, like, even if these don't work, it's kind of fine because, you know, we can do another one and we can go back to the original tactics. It was just kind of a bit of trial and error, but this worked so much better. So one person was in, the other person would strap the feet in and they would start rowing. So Ottie did 250 meters, then we slid her feet out, got me in, I did 250 meters. So much better. And one tactic that I've been taught is to really use my legs, which I know obviously you don't really want to use your legs because you've used them so much during the runs, but really driving with your legs on the rower and then pulling that handle towards your mid chest or the bottom of your sports bra is kind of where I aim for. Then hands back really slowly to bring your legs in, really strong push with your legs, pull the rower to your chest and then bring it back, and then the same again. And that really helped me because is it 5:36 and then this time we did it in 5:03. So yeah, that just shows that even if you switch that much, like, the efficiency of us was so much better. One was farmer's carries. Now farmer's carries is two 16 kg kettlebells. There's a box of chalk at the start before you go in, so I literally just threw my hands in probably up to my elbows, got chalk on me, and then off we went. Ottie picked them up first and she kind of lightly jogged with them down the first length, dropped them. I went for kind of like half walk, half jog, dropped them. Ottie did a light jog. Again, I went for half walk, half jog. Really quickly, and that one was completely fine. If you train with kettlebells, when you train for them, just make sure you're training with heavier ones, so training with 20s in each hand. And if you're doing them in a circuit format, if you feel like you can do a little bit of a light jog with them, then do it, because again, it definitely saves us a little bit of time. So last time we did it in 1:41 and then this time we did it in 1:36, so a little bit chopped off there, which was nice. Back into the runs, I kind of knew when we got past the rower that it was going to be fine, because the stations after that, I was like, I kind of enjoy the last stations because they're less kind of like leggy and they're more just achievable, well, in my eyes, for me. Okay, so after the farmer's carries, obviously you do laps in between each station. We went to the walking lunges. Now the walking lunges is one 10 kg sandbag on your shoulders. So again, Ottie started, she cruised through just over halfway, then I threw it on me and I went. It was one of those ones that when you start, my legs were like, oh my gosh, I'm burning, especially quads. I did a big chunk, Ottie did a big chunk, and then I did the last little push. And when I put that sandbag back on me for the second time, it's almost like what I said earlier, you need to kind of push past that lactic acid build up, because the second time I put it on me, it was like I had the freshest legs in the world. I don't know what came over me, if I just had this sudden rush, but it felt unreal and I just went rapid with that sandbag lunges. Okay, did it in 2:35. And then last time we did it in 3:12, so that's a massive cut off. I didn't actually realise that. Really pleased how they went. And another key tip I would say with that one, you obviously have to let your knee touch the ground each rep, but rather than taking like a step in the middle and then taking a step forward, we were just kind of lunging and then lunging again, if that makes sense, rather than like lunging, taking a little step, lunging. I'll put the videos up so you know what I mean. But yeah, that personally, like for us, worked really well. Pass the sandbag over. I think we were just a little bit confused how to pass it over to each other last time, but I would have it on me. I would literally just lift it up and back. Ottie would then put her head through the space in between the sandbag and me, and then put the sandbag over her. That worked so much better. Last time we were trying to like pass it back, Ottie would have it in her face, she was putting it up and then over herself, and it just was the most inefficient thing ever. We were looking back at videos and it literally looked like we were smacking the sandbag in her face. So we were like, something's got to be more efficient than that, and that worked so well. And then the last one was wall balls, so a couple more loops of the track and then into the wall ball station. And last time our wall balls were, I think we were one of the last teams in the wall balls, because your legs are so fatigued by that point that you're literally like wobbly, and we just weren't as prepared for it as I guess we could have been. And Ottie were Hoka Bondies with the huge chunky sole, and they just weren't the best for the wall balls, because especially when your legs are already fatigued, they're not that stable. So she was literally rocking backwards like she was on a boat, and I was just watching it thinking, I'm also so fatigued and I know I'm going to have to take this off her because she's literally rocking backwards. But I also, this time around, she wore, I think they're called Puma Nitros, and they were so much flatter, she felt so much more stable, and we cruised through them. Again, our tactic was roughly to do 10 to 12 each. I think we got a couple of no reps because we were hitting like just below the target, but you know, you're so fatigued, you're just kind of like squatting down and throwing it aimlessly, just kind of hoping for the best. But with that one, we cut off a whole minute. So last time we did it in 4:06 and this time we did it in 3:09. So like, I'm really pleased with that. Obviously we knew we could cut off that kind of time within the wall balls because of our performance last time, but it was good to just actually get that and see it and know that we did actually achieve that. And Ottie absolutely smashed it as well. She was the best partner a girl could ask for doing that Hyrox, and I think we'll probably like both admit, like back in Glasgow, like I was probably pulling us as a team a little bit more, but this time around Ottie was definitely pulling us as a team a little bit more. So it does just show that you definitely need to train Hyrox specific along with having a good solid running base to be the best at that event. And I guess, you know, to be the best at something, like to be really good at something, you need to train it specifically. And I guess that's the part I kind of left out of this time round, but I'm still really pleased with my performance. But like I said, I think I'm just hard on myself in the respect that I just wish that I found it a little bit easier, because I would have been able to maybe push a little bit more to do one next year. And they're so addictive, they're so fast, especially compared to like the stuff that I've been doing that, you know, you'll be out per day 7 hours a day. So anyway, I feel like I could blab about this all day. I am super proud of our performance and how well we did. Whether we will do another one or not is TBC, but the theme of 2024, the theme of 2023 was how far can I go? And the theme of 2024 is strength and speed. And like I said, I will open up about my goals and what I'm going to be doing going forward, but I'm just going to leave you with that for now, because that was my weak point coming out of this, and that weak point is a point I want to improve on. I think when I come away from these events, as much as I like to see the wins and how well we did and how strong we felt and how fun it was and everything, I like to come away and be like, right, where do I need to improve? Because in my head, if you come away from events and see those little slots that you think you can improve on or didn't go as well, like that's perfect knowledge, and that's such a big space that you've got. You've just learned all the things about you fitness wise that you could improve on and be better on. Like that's such valuable knowledge in my brain, because you're like, right, there's 3 slots here for me. My speed when it comes to running, yes, I can run for 8 hours on my feet, but when it comes to 1 kilometre intervals, I could be faster right now. My strength could be a lot better, and my erg work could probably be a little bit more efficient. So in my head, I'm like, boom, 3 things I can improve on that going into 2024's goals will massively benefit me. I absolutely love Dublin as well. Lovely city, so much to do, so many good food places. Like Dublin know how to do brunch, and they also know how to do salads. And if anybody watches this and is considering opening a fast food salad bar in Edinburgh, please do it. I will support you and I will be there multiple times per week, so you've got 1 customer already. Yeah, gonna leave the vlog there for today, but if anyone has any Hyrox questions or is Hyrox curious or anything like that, feel free to ping me a message on Instagram and I can chat you through it, and I can encourage you to sign up as well, because they're amazing events and I absolutely loved it. Loved. Anyway, I will catch you all next week and I will see you soon.